Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and good night. Thanks for clicking this video. We talking about Air Force security forces, what to expect, the school, all that good stuff. I'm going to talk about the atmosphere, the different blocks, what to expect. Is it physically demanding? Is it mentally demanding? It's all coming from an Army perspective because I was a prior service Army guy. I used to be a soldier. So a lot of the shit, I already knew it because I learned it in the Army and I actually did it and I practiced it not only when I deployed, but prior to deploying. I just still know a lot of the shit. So my opinion and my thoughts are not completely biased, but if you're brand new to the military and especially to the Air Force and you're becoming a security forces member, you still can learn from my video. So thanks for clicking it. Let's talk about it. So it's separated into several blocks. The first block feels like school. You know, you come into class, literally pen, paper, study guide, you have an instructor, and for the block, there's different portions of it where you have different instructors teaching you, the material. It's PowerPoint, you got to take notes. That part, I will give it to the Air Force. It was pretty mentally challenging because I had to study a lot. I would basically be in class up until Friday. Monday we'll have a test, and I'll be like, damn, I can't get drunk this weekend because I have to actually study. So I just got drunk a little less than what I normally would and still studied, and I still passed. With that being said, first week, 2 tests. The first one is random Air Force history, general knowledge. The second test is more law enforcement stuff. You learn about the UCMJ, articles, DD forms, what not to do, what to do, stuff like that. After that, block 2, weapons instructing, weapons instruction. I can't even speak English today. What the hell's going on? You shoot the M4 and you shoot the M18. The M18 is the SIG pistol, and the M4 obviously the M4 carbine rifle. My experience with handguns, other than my Glock that I shoot, like my personal Glock, and then prior security jobs when I had to carry my own personal Glock, because like I used to work for money trucks and I used to drive them around. I had experience with handguns. My experience in the Army with handguns, I only shot an M9, just I dabbled with it, I messed with it. Now the SIG M18, and this is just random G-Wiz information. It was fun shooting. It was fun shooting it. It's not that hard. It's not a complicated weapon system. For some reason, people still fail. To describe the atmosphere of the school is that they set you up for success. They baby step every single thing. They hold you hand. They lockstep. They do it step by step by step by step. Versus the Army, they just throw you in the freaking wilderness. I'm like, all right, figure it out. They'll teach you. They'll set you up, but it's not as, we're going to hold this person's hand all the way up into the end. You feel me? It's a little more, all right, we expect you to know this shit. So block 2, weapons instructing, and weapons instruction. Block 3, more law enforcement stuff. We did field exercises, which I thought was weird. This isn't Camp Bullis, which security forces, they're military police, so they don't go to the field. Operational, like it's a small percentage unless you're high speed as shit or you're special warfare. Your boots are never gonna freaking touch dirt, more than likely. You feel me? 9 times out of 10. And that one that does touch dirt is because they volunteered or they got all that experience that they just need them on the field. You feel me? But that's neither here nor there. So block 3, Camp Bullis, more field training. I kind of laughed because they said, oh, it's like Army infantry. Like, no, the fuck it's not. Army infantry is hard. This shit is not hard. I went to Fort Benning basic training. So a lot of the shit that they teach you in security forces for the Air Force is the basic knowledge that you need to pass basic training. So I will say the law enforcement aspect that they teach you it wasn't really engaging to me because I already knew it. I did it with my unit in the Air Force prior to that. And I had state troopers, SWAT guys, regular cops at home that showed me the correct way to do it. And then when I went to school, the Air Force showed me the Air Force way. So I had to unlearn a lot of things. It's a lot of habits and muscle memories that I learned in the Army, and just being attached to Air Force unit, having more seasoned people teaching me shit that I have to unlearn going into a level 3 school, because level 3 is just the basic, blocks. So they teach you law enforcement shit, how to handcuff people, how to search people. It was pretty cool. It was engaging. You have a simulation when you have to deal with like people when you have to enter and clear buildings, active shooter situation. And then they did another simulation when you go onto a house and you react to a domestic call. That was pretty fun. Like they'll throw different scenarios at you. Somebody's, they're arguing, or you got somebody that wants to, die by suicide by cops. So how do you deal with that? people with weapons, how to secure it. That shit was kind of fun. I was like, okay, this is cool. This is more hands-on. I like the hands-on physical aspect. I'm not really a fan of the paperwork school shit. You feel me? But I digress. That was fun. And then we did entering and clearing buildings with active shooter situations. I already did that, and we already talked about it. How to do it tactically and how to do it fast. When you're in the field, and I do this lightly because there's barracks and these guys don't sleep in the field at all. They have barracks to where they sleep at. And we're only in the field in the day, and then we go back home. It was pretty freaking easy. You feel me? Like they set up defense fighting positions when it's a 360, and they simulate people attacking you, what to do, what not to do, how to, you know, halt security forces, and you freaking make them turn around, you make them put their weapon down, you search them, you secure the weapon, and you know all that. It wasn't engaging to me because I already did it before. But if you're brand new, you're gonna love that shit. You feel me? I thought it was fun, and I already knew how to do it, and I didn't really get as much hands-on because my specific role in that school was just to make sure that the guys were kind of grasping it. So I was kind of like in a mentor role, which I think is weird because if I'm in a training environment where I'm training alongside with the brand new guys, I don't know why I have to step in and like help these guys because it's not my fucking job and I'm not getting paid extra. I'm not getting any special treatment other than I don't have a curfew, but that's neither here nor there. Once again, there are ruck marches, and when I say ruck marches, I put air quotations because they're like 2 miles, pretty fucking easy. A ruck march in the Army basic training, I think it's like 14, Fort Benning. I honestly forgot, it's been so many years ago, but it was 14-mile ruck with like 60, it's like 60, or it's either 80, 60, or 100 pounds in your fucking rucksack with your full kit and your weapon. I forgot. Air Force was just, hey, make your rucksack look like you got shit in it. You still got your weapon, you still got your plates on you, but it was a slam dunk. You take a couple of PT tests here and there. I only had to take one because I took one prior to going to tech school, and the only reason why I took another one is so the other guys don't feel like they're left out, so they don't feel like, oh, they're treating the prior service guys better, they don't have to take a test with us. We just took the test so they could shut the fuck up. Pretty much the only reason why we did that. That's about it, y'all. It's pretty easy. I'm gonna leave this. If you guys have any questions, I don't think I'm missing anything. There is combatives, which is the last block, which was fun. I couldn't slam the fuck out of people because once again, it's not the Army. But the PT that they did prior to that, and then they show you certain moves. The moves were really basic shit that I already knew. Because I got ninjutsu experience dealing with people when I was deployed. I had none but fucking wrestlers and people that were obsessed with ninjutsu, and I used to fuck with them all the time, and they showed me shit. So it's super basic. The training's not that difficult to me. It might be to you if you're brand new. Not physically demanding, not even a little bit. Just make sure you're hydrated. Mentally, I will say it's more demanding. You have to study. If you don't, you will fail. If you're not paying attention, you will fail. If they show you how to do something and you're not taking notes, they test you the next day, and if you forget, you're fucked. So take your notes, pay attention in class, drink water, have a positive attitude, and you're gonna be all right. You feel me? Now, this section is for my prior service guys. If you are a prior service, Army, Marine, whatever, even Navy, we had a couple Navy guys with us, don't do it. Stay right where the fuck you at, bro. Because the next training, now I talked about security forces, but they're changing it completely. We're literally the last class that's going through this type of training. The next one, they're saying it's more Army infantry, which I laugh because it will never be Army infantry, but they're leaning towards it because they're tired of airmen coming out of BMT that are soft. You feel me? They're getting tired of it, so they're making it more difficult, where the trainees actually have to sleep in the field. They have to fucking set up actual defense fighting positions, tents, with their full kit and pull security the whole night and get fucked with the whole night. They did that in Army basic training, but they're adding it fucking 30, 40, 50 years later in the Air Force. Go figure. With that being said, it was definitely like, it was just weird, man, because I'm used to fucking getting my shit kicked in and getting yelled at or punched in their basic training, but Air Force, they got a different way of doing it. And this is more information for my prior service guys that are thinking about doing it. Don't fucking do it, bro. if you want to switch to the Air Force, don't go security forces, because they hate prior service guys. They hate us because we act like know-it-alls, because we already fucking know. But we still got to go through the same school that everybody else goes through, so we get that nice, beautiful blue beret. You feel me? Dark blue beret, whatever you call it. With that being said, I will make a part 2 to this video. If anybody has any specific questions, please ask me. I will answer them to the best of my ability. If you guys want to know why I switched from Army to Air Force, long story short, it's easier. That's why I joined, and I want to live a better life. But if you want the long answer, I will talk about it. And I'll make a separate video for that. And yeah, Block 1, tests. Block 2, weapons. Block 3, law enforcement stuff, more hands-on. How to deal with a gate runner. Searching. More field training exercises, which, like I said, I thought was weird because they don't go to the field, but I'm like, whatever. I think they were just filling up time. And then Block 4 is combatives. Pretty easy. Yeah. So, salute.